Hello, Patreon, and hello, Jean Marie.
A forever hello to Jean Marie.
Yep, she's the big hello in the sky. I don't know what that means. Like, I think I'm saying like God or something.
Yeah, but I think at first I heard it as the big hoe in the sky, and then it
No,
clicked for me.
no. Um, okay. Let me just take a sip of my beverage.
Just take a sip.
Yes, I drink out of solo cups at home. Okay, call the cops. Um, not always. All right. Welcome to Halfsies. I'm Molly McAleer.
I'm Rob Schulte. Molly, happy birthday plus 1 day.
Thank you. I think I am a lot more mature now. So it'll probably be a little bit of a tonal shift from our normal show.
Well, that makes sense. Can I tell you something? I forgot to tell you yesterday when we did B-Day hangs, but it's a birthday related memory I always have. Um, and I forget who said it, but this was something that was said to me in high school by a friend that's like, well, you're not really the age that you turn for like a few months. And I was like, what do you mean? And it's like, it takes like, when you turn, 17, it takes like a few months to really be 17. You're still kind of 16 when you turn 17. And
I
I'm like,
like that.
I do like that too. Like, because of course, just by the clock, yeah, I turned another year, but really, it's like you have to earn that year by like making it through a little bit further.
Yeah, I don't really like F with the Gregorian calendar like at all. I really resent it as a
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
And so I'm pretty big on I'm kind of big on theories like that. And it is true. You have to ease into your age. You were just 16. That's all you
Mm-hmm.
knew.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't always love an age roundup.
Yes. Yeah, I don't. You can't round up. You're not there yet. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But I'm not afraid of saying my age or being my age because, well, like, about pretty much every therapist I've ever had has said that I should be dead by now.
Oh,
So,
cool. That's fun.
yeah. I know. Statistically, I think I'm beating the odds in some ways. Are you slowly zooming in and out?
I hit a button on my camera. Sorry.
Love
That's
it.
how
I
much of
mean,
an effect it had on me.
Rob, we had a really nice dinner last night. Jessica was there.
Yes.
Meredith Lynch was there. I
Yes.
also want to thank you for getting a pet sitter. I really respect that, and I tend to be deferential to my friends who are human
Sure.
parents because if they're paying for that babysitter, that's no joke. I'll do whatever you want, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well,
Um, but yeah,
I understand. But we love our pet sitter. She's wonderful. If you're in the LA area and you need a rec, you can reach out and we'll see what we can do.
have you thought about? I know that Jessica met her through a community that she really enjoys, so I think that this could shake up the community if this was the case. But have you thought about inviting her to be a third?
That would never happen. We can't do that, Molly. And you know why. I'm a prude.
I know, we're both prudes. So real quick, you got me the nicest gift last night, which was a huge bag of snacks that were gluten-free as well as a copy of V for Vendetta because it's
Yes.
about my new Twitch life.
Yes.
And a beautiful pack of playing cards that maybe I will open up on TikTok after this.
Yes.
But you
Crack a
got
pack, as
me
they say.
you had to do something a little grosso style, which I really respect because this is exactly the kind of bullshit I get up to.
Hell
But
yeah.
this pickle candy, um, guppers, Gross. Gummy liquid filled poppers, juicy sour pickle, artificial center, sweet pickle, artificial gummy candy. So, I'm going to taste test that now, and
Okay.
this is about the size of a dinner I eat at any given time because I get full very easily.
Is girl
And
dinner still a thing? Is this could this be part of that?
I think girl dinner is still a thing.
She's digging in, folks. She had to put the mic down, but I can tell you she's now using her teeth because this candy is protected by multiple layers because you can't let the pickle pop before it's actually ready to be eaten, which is important. Molly's now disgusted by the pickle and has gotten up and left. But potentially she's gotten up to get a knife to cut this protective layer of the pickle popper open. Now, what you don't know is that Molly also got me a gift last night, and it's a little basketball hoop to cover my webcam. Oh, she's back. Hello.
And I got you something that I forgot to bring. I was planning on going home, but Eric has been following me around like a pregnant dog, as I've told you.
Uh huh.
And so he convinced me that I didn't need to leave. I think I might be a hostage, kind of.
Uh
Um,
oh.
but god damn,
Code word
this
is
fucking
hula hoop
pickle.
if you need to be saved.
Ooh, okay, so it's very soft.
Ugh.
Here we go. Here goes nothing. Oh, I think I gotta keep going. Kind of tastes
Is
like
it
watermelon.
watermelon?
Mm-hmm.
So
I
not
would
very
not say
pickly.
no, I would not say that this is a distinctive pickle taste, but I also
Maybe
got
each
you.
pickle has a different taste, right? Like that's the surprise.
Mmm. Yes, like bean boozled.
Yes. But what if I don't like beans?
I've I've watched way too many adults do bean boozled in my life. It's like a bored YouTuber thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let
Which
me
you
get
know
this
all about,
chirping
of
out of the
course.
way. Mm-hmm.
You were revisiting some of your old YouTube days.
Yeah, last night, Eric and I broke out the old catalog of my YouTube videos, vlogging Molly 84. And like I've just been insane my whole life. That's one thing that I noticed about myself. I will say I was surprisingly a little feminist, like in a way that I don't think that I would have guessed I was. But then also, I think that I've spent years like convincing myself that I'm low key a bad person, which is just
That's
it's
just
probably
yeah,
Catholicism and
yeah.
anxiety. But
Don't forget the
it's so
patriarchy.
I kind of assumed that um like I was just like an obnoxious little rat and like all that stuff needed to be taken down. But like I was surprised at how empathetic I was, surprised at like how delicately I handled certain topics of conversation. Like I had a very fucking woke opinion about 16 and pregnant. Like I was really
Okay.
like, damn girl, like you've been a good person, Like I was a ridiculous person, but
Sure. Weren't we
overall pretty
all?
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that I necessarily was always smart or thought about anyone else but myself in my youth, but I got there eventually, and so that's nice that you have these memories of yourself that aren't as scary as you once believed them to be.
I did a video. It was right after I had been laid off from Gawker, and I was working at
Was this around
Ed's.
Tom Cruise Mission Impossible time?
Um, like when I leaked that Scientology video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
Oh,
it was
damn.
that was like no, that was if anything, I was like the golden girl of the company when that happened. It
I
was
was gonna
just
say because if it was around that time, it's like that would have been insane. But
no, like a new our the guy who started Defamer had stepped down, and a new boss came in that I really liked, but some of the core two writers really did not F with him at all.
Mm.
And so I think what happened was that he and I got booted, and one of the other writers like got a big raise, I think, is what kind of one of those, you know.
Sounds about right.
But yeah, I was gonna say, oh yeah, so I was working at my friend's fish factory, and
Okay.
I was doing data entry at a fish factory in Long Beach. And for like, I think maybe like $10 an hour or something. And in the video, I was saying that, you know, I was just feeling really down because, like, you know, I still believed that my dreams were worth pursuing and that I would do something great, but that I was in a season of life that was so radically different than the past. Because I think the first, you know, I said 2 years ago, I was working at HBO writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, that startup shut down. And I said, and last year I was at Gawker, which I think I was at Gawker for like maybe a little over a year and a half, which does not sound like much time, but that was like a Gawker lifetime. Like
Yeah.
Emily Gould, who I think was one of the real breakout writers from Gawker, she only worked there for like 6 months,
When I
which is
worked
like
at
crazy because she's so foundational to that website.
Yeah, I worked at Vice for like 6 or 7 months, and I think I outlived like 25 people that I worked around.
Yeah.
Like it's just that place is that was a weird time for media. Well, I guess for me that was like 2016 or 2017, which is still past the prime of uh we're paying you nothing, but isn't it a cool job?
Yeah, that was very much the thing back in the day. It was like no one had any money, but everyone was starting companies, and you just made like nothing. Like I think I am happy for Gen Z that they have such an aversion to like unpaid or low paying
Oh
internships and
yeah.
jobs. Good for them. But also, like, I really do think that a lot of the time that I like basically volunteered my time or did grunt work was really good to me and good for me. But I was just saying that, you know, I'm working at this fish factory now, and my life just feels like I just feel like I've had this sort of like fall, and I'm like going through this hard, difficult season of my life, kind of. And what I recalled about it was rewatching it. I really appreciated my honesty and transparency about something that I think most people would be afraid to say out loud, or like, you know, feel like a loser for saying out loud. But I remembered I got a lot of pushback from people
Really?
about that. Yes, like adults that I knew were like, it's this is a bad look for you to be complaining about having a, you know, having to do this. And I just was like, you fucking work at a fish factory.
Yeah, no shit.
After having, you know, like, it is demoralizing to be doing data entry about whey. Um,
Yeah. And I mean,
WHEY.
it's also the difference between like, well, the generational difference, but the like, your job is what defines you. And it's like, well, if that's still the case, I don't want this to define me.
Very much at that time in my life, my job defined me. You
Yeah.
know, like now I'm like, I'd go work at an Amazon warehouse if RFK is going to make us pick strawberries because we have ADHD. Um, I am like, yeah, it just was, I just remember being surprised because I forgot that I had gotten so much blowback from it, but I was like, oh my God, like here I am, like a 25-year-old girl who had just like just graduated college not long before, who had sort of like a crazy amount of luck in the way that I was able to get these great jobs. And I found it to be like I felt bad for younger me. And it's like crazy looking back to think that like I don't know what I wasn't supposed to like some people don't even have jobs and it's like
Well, I'll tell you this, Molly, regarding your vlog. And then I know you want to get to your topic, but the first time you were coming on my podcast, Vanderpump Robs, named best Vanderpump Rules podcast out there, um, I was like, let me Google this person's name to get her credits, because I know she's got this Trend Lightly podcast, yada, yada, yada. And one of the results that came up for me was someone on Reddit saying, I still watch this video like monthly of Molly. And was all positive, not to like make fun of you. She was like, it makes me laugh every time when she goes grocery shopping. And it
Oh,
was
yeah.
just like a link to you going grocery shopping.
That was right after I was in such a bad mood in that video because Eric had just broken up with me.
Oh my God, 13, 14 years ago?
Yes. And oh, after dinner last night, I was going to tell you where he took me was Jones Bar, which is the bar where we first saw each other after I'd
Oh,
moved out here.
that's so
And
cute.
I was vibing so hard when I saw him because I had sort of been daydreaming about maybe dating him someday. And I asked him right in front of all of his friends, I said, like, do you have a girlfriend still? And he said, no. And I said, here's my number, call me. And this was
Hell
in the
yeah.
time of the 3-day rule. And he called me the next day at 2 p.m. and asked me on a date. It was like, yeah.
He slept
So,
on it, and then he didn't sleep on it.
exactly. He was like, I can't believe you said yes. And I'm like, please. I was like, low key, thank God there was no way to track who was looking at your MySpace because I was a fucking perv on there for you. Anyway, so we're gonna go with my half first this week, and it's a little bit of a journey per usual, but something that Eric and I like to do. I feel like we missed out on each other for like 13 years, and it's just something. It's so stupid that it always kind of makes us laugh, but we'll look up couple quizzes on YouTube. And listeners of Trend Lightly will know that I've found really weird ones before where it was like no holds barred couple questions. And it was like, I think the first one was like, would you rather like lick your partner's armpit or the bottom of their foot? Like that was the first question. And the second one was like, would you rather like blow your grandfather or like it was like so fucking
My
foul
God.
we couldn't believe how jarring it was. So while we were spending all this beautiful time together, we dug back into the archives and we said, let's do some YouTube couples time, right?
Hell yes. It's a
And we found the most confounding quiz ever because there's twists to it, there's turns, and I think we should just play like the intro and then the first two questions. But Rob, do you want to describe what you're seeing right now?
I see two elderly people in 80s-esque workout gear with the big words that say grab your loved ones. And it's like a woman and a man staring at each other with the biggest shit-eating grins I've ever seen.
And like I like that they're not particularly fit because it's like saying like we're going on this journey together.
Yeah,
We're
that's
starting a
true.
new fitness journey.
I love this. Okay, so should I press play and we can get to the first one?
Yes, sure. Is there a way to see when this was published?
This was
Because
published
it
1 year ago on September 8th, 2024.
hell yeah, let's
A
do
lot of
it.
people don't know this, and I've had to do it with a lot of weird research over the past 2 years. You have to hover over the 1 year mark to actually see the specific date pop up. It's very
You know
uncomfortable.
why YouTube has changed things like that drives me nuts because it is so highly relevant to me. That kind of thing. Like, was this done 6 years ago? Because
Yep.
it's a little surprising. So, do you want to click play
Yeah, I'll
on this
press play.
biatch?
Yeah, I want to make sure I want to go theater mode on them. So here we go.
Grab your loved one. It's time to play When Sparks Fly. When Sparks Fly is a game to ignite relationships.
Couples take turns answering questions about their partner from the 7 forbidden topics.
Sex, family, money, politics, exes, loaded questions, and dares. The goal: to discover if you truly know your partner.
Questions are rapid fire, so be ready.
The
You have
B-roll
30
is
seconds to answer a question,
insane.
and then your partner has 30 seconds to judge and score your response.
So, real quick, are we? We'll get through a couple of questions, then we'll talk. Right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, well, and you'll have to like speed up during the times where I think there's like a 30-second buffer in between each
Gotcha.
question where I think we're supposed to explore how we feel about the other one's answers.
No, thank you. Okay, I will. I gotcha.
Open-minded,
We don't
honest,
really
empathetic,
engage
and have fun.
No.
in the like you got to do the deed or like the whatever the thing is. Like we kind of say pass on that.
Yeah, I would see.
That'd be you. Okay, so if
Wait,
you
what?
pause,
Yeah.
let's explain. So, Rob, if you and I were to play this, you would have to guess how much I weigh according to the screen. But there's a voice that asks
Yeah.
a different question than the one that appears on the screen. And Eric and I didn't really get that, but as everyone knows, he is significantly older than me.
Mhm.
And so I had to guess his weight, and I'm sitting there like I'm really putting effort in because I'm like, God, it's so hard to guess men's weight. Like, you could be 250 pounds and that would be totally normal. Or like, maybe you're like a $150, like something
You
that
never
would
know.
surprise me. So I was really hemming and hawing. And I came up with the number 190, and Eric's coming in at a cool 170. So yeah.
This is insane. I was leading up to this. I was like, oh, so this is like relationship questions. And the first question is like possibly the one that might start a huge fight right from the beginning.
Total. It's it's a kind of a rough one, and I was thinking about how I would say in almost most relationships the couples are the same age, or the man tends to be a little bit older. So I was like, that's good. A woman doesn't need that.
Yeah,
Like,
did we also should I rewind so that we can hear what's asked versus what's said?
I think we should definitely do that.
Okay, because that is insane. I was laughing to think when I saw how much do you weigh or how much does your partner weigh? Okay, here we go.
What's something you have taught your partner about your relationship together?
So that seems like more of a reasonable question. What's something have you taught your partner about your relationship together? Now, still doesn't make any sense, really. Something you've taught your partner about your relationship together.
Well, it's testing you. I will say that When Sparks Fly is, I think, probably a pretty big page, if I had to guess. I don't know if we can see how many subscribers they have. There aren't many comments, but I think
338.
oh, that's not much. I feel like we've maybe played another When Sparks Fly quiz in the past because it sounds so familiar to me that I assumed it was famous. Yeah, it's like you just wouldn't assume that a channel goofs like this.
Yeah. Should we go on to question 2?
Yes.
Oh, wait, but what happens once the countdown gets to 0?
I think it's 30 seconds for us to unpack and discuss as a couple. Don't go too fast.
Does your partner think serial killer pedophiles are inherently screwed from abuse?
Okay. So does your partner think that serial killer pedophiles are automatically skewed from abuse?
Yes. And there's another option too if you want to play that. I will say that on the screen it says, what outfit of yours does your partner hate? Do you want to finish the question? We can replay it if you want to. Eric and I laughed so hard. I felt like my eyes were bleeding. Like that's the kind of level of laughter that happened because we just were not. Most of these quizzes are so sterilized that, like a lot of the questions they'll ask are like questions that maybe would challenge like a teenager or college kids when it comes to like,
Sure.
what's more important to you, getting married and having a family, or making sure that you and your partner never fight or something like that. And it's just sort of like, I'm like, Eric, this doesn't apply to us. Like, we don't like,
That's insane.
yeah. But yeah, do you want to go back and we can listen to it again?
Of course.
Does your partner think serial killer pedophiles are inherently screwed from abuse? Or 100% sadistic and at fault?
Skewed from abuse or 100% sadistic and at fault.
Okay, so like here's my thing. I'm not a true crime aficionado, but like I think that I have a pretty decent idea of like a lot of crimes. Like I think I cannot think of one serial killer PDF to save my life. Like I don't even know that these are people. Like the
Sure.
two, usually if you're like a PDF, I think you get so caught up in that like it just wouldn't even occur to you to become a serial killer. But yeah.
This is I don't even know how to answer that because there isn't I'm so hung up on the fact that why is that happening on this page? Why is it?
Rob, your guess is as good as mine. And I wonder maybe if we go into another video on When Sparks Fly, if this is something they always do, or if like this is a sort of a one-off for insane shock value.
Okay, let's see your couples game.
They love a couples quiz.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just play one at random here.
We can speed up.
Yeah.
Although I would like to torture people a little bit. But
It's time to play When Sparks Fly.
So it says like, what is your partner's worst vice? No voiceover.
No voiceover. So I feel like, Molly, maybe we're getting some sort of weird psyop where they're trying to send us coded messages.
Maybe. Speaking of psyops, I watched most of my former boss's Rogan appearance because it's kind of going viral.
Oh, Lord.
And I believe, if I'm not incorrect, she pitched a conspiracy about how, well, she was saying that like it's something we should look into.
Oh,
is
yes,
why
of course.
so many kids now wear glasses. And Joe is very much like too much screen time, like he was very comfortable with this idea. But as someone who wore glasses is starting at 2 years old, I was like, I don't know, like sometimes people just have bad vision.
Yeah, I would say maybe more people are wearing glasses because they're afraid to sleep on the side of their face. And they have to sleep like a fucking Nosferatu all the time.
Well, also like kids now, and this is a good thing, get better medical care. But I thought it was so interesting, the concept of it maybe being some sort of psyop that children are getting glasses more often now. It's like when people think that like there's everyone has autism now, and it's like, well, I don't know if that's really the case. If or it's just more people are getting checked diagnostically, and I think that that's a good thing.
Molly, we're not an entity, a being. Humans are not supposed to see this many other humans and communicate with this many other humans. It's just not part of our brain chemistry. And now with the internet and social media, we're seeing how that separates folks like you and I from
Right.
folks like your former boss.
Well, I gotta say though, I think that while YouTube can be considered a form of social media, I think that we could do some really good societal resetting by people sitting at home and doing things like when sparks fly.
Absolutely. Should we look at another question that has a psyop?
Sure, of course.
Oh, wait, we already saw this one.
No, I mean, I'd like to listen to it again. So if you
Okay.
want to, no, we don't have to. I'm just kidding. I play too much, Rob.
Nah. Okay, here we go. So, have you ever caught your parents doing it? Or what always turns your partner on? This is psycho.
I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but I actually did know that Eric caught his parents one time. It was probably around the time we figured out, probably around the time that they were working on his younger brother. But he walked in. It was kind of like he said, like, not too late in the evening. It was like 7 p.m.
After dinner mint.
He's like, what are you guys doing? And they said, we're just wrestling.
Perfect.
Which I thought was so funny.
I learned, at our meal last night that everyone loves a good story about my dad. And guess what? A new story drop.
Yes.
My dad went on a fucking tear after their divorce. My mom and dad got divorced. And
how old were you?
Too young to be hearing it, I'll tell you that. But like very much middle school, right? So like I'm also becoming a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And don't get it twisted, folks. I'm not doing anything weird like about it, but very freaked out because I know what's going on, right?
Yes, that's definitely that's.
And it got to the point once where I would just be like, God, like, I think one night I just yelled, "Shut the fuck up!" like from my bedroom.
Well, I mean, Rob, I don't want to, I know that you have a lot of feelings around your dad, but like, that is, in my opinion, that is a form of SA.
I don't actually disagree with you. Like,
yeah.
I think that like you have to be able to control yourself with children involved, right? Like, and especially, like young teens, like they ain't going to bed at 10 o'clock. They're playing their goddamn Game Boys under their covers, right? They're doing all sorts of shit because they can. And I don't think you're wrong. Like, I don't feel like I was necessarily like traumatized for the rest of my life, but I remember being like, he was like, "Why are you acting out?" It's like, "Do you think I can't hear what's going on?" And I remember him like the blood draining from his face. He's like, "Well, that's none of your business." And I said, "Actually, it kind of is."
Yeah. Well, no, that's a good point. Well, I guess I want to ask, like, was he bringing home hotties?
At that age, I don't think I could really accurately. What I will tell you is no, but I guess hottie is in the eye of the beholder.
Oh, sure.
But my dad owned a bar. I'm sure it was pretty easy to catch some tail, as it were.
That's probably a really good point. Oh, I wonder if there's ethical issues around that. Well, we don't need to.
We don't need to dive any further into that.
Go too hard on your dad today.
Yeah.
Well, so my original pitch last night was that maybe we could write a confusing quiz like this and put it up on YouTube and see how it does views wise. But I also last night, so because Eric and I have been in this gamer space, he purchased a card game on Amazon. And I think that maybe what we could do is we could work on coming up with a card game and use this as inspo. But
yeah, like so many podcasts like to sell like hats and t-shirts What if we made our own sexual couples game card?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I have the right to sell on Amazon too. I got approval for it. So if we want to set up a store, I don't know how you get these cards made, if we can do it on demand sort of thing, 'cause I don't want a big stack of cards
Oh,
laying
yeah. I'd
around.
love for the listeners to solve that problem for us, and we'll just make it happen.
Thank you. That is a really good thing. I know we've got a trend dog or a, what do we call Halfsies fans?
Oh, we'll have to figure that out. But I would say H dogs for now. H bombs.
H-dogs.
H bombs.
H bombs. There you go.
Yes. I
Um,
like that.
so I brought so anyway, this game wound up being a lot more intense than I think Eric intended. And when we were still on it's kind of hot ones themed, I think, because there's mild, medium, and spicy. And when we were going through some of the milds, like we were horrified, like about like, some of them are kind of normal, but then like some of them were just like, ew, like who is doing this? Like some of them were pretty.
All adults are doing this, Molly.
Some of them were pretty labor intensive and like, and I think because we're prudes, this is why it's extra funny to us, because to some other person listening, they're like, so fucking what? I do that all the time.
Yeah, I do in my polyamorous relationship with my multiple partners that live in the Pacific Northwest.
Poly people are definitely out there.
My crust punk girlfriends that see me 3 times a year.
But yeah, so I was reading these to you guys and I started to get in my head, I think early this morning when I woke up, thinking like Rob was really losing it when I was reading it. Like you were really laughing. And I woke up this morning and it is similar to like when I thought you guys were doing the rehearsal on me or whatever, where it's like I just go into this place of overthinking and I was like, wow, I wonder if Rob was even really scandalized by those questions or if he was just being nice because it was my birthday. Like, what if I wasted everyone's time by reading these filth-ridden questions?
No, I'm easily amused, Molly, and I also giggle like a little schoolgirl when stuff like this is read to me.
But you were great. You like kept like looking at Jessica and being like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm like, I know. This was Eric and I's thing. Like, when we were going through mild, I said this to you last night, but like, we were like, what's going to be in the spicy section? Like, walk to like Wilton and Western and Wilton and those aren't cross streets, but Wilshire and Western, and like scan a QR code and like like follow the instructions from there. I was like, this is filthy. So
it was pretty gross.
I will read some of these. This was one I read that really got everyone going last night. Write 5 fantasies each on individual pieces of paper. Place them in a box. One of you picks one, and you both have to go for it.
What?
I don't have 5 fantasies. My fantasy is going to the beach or taking a seasonal job at the Hallmark store. Or like I don't have 5 fantasies. Like what and then go for it. Well, I would think that you'd want me to engage with the game.
Well, yeah, my thought was just like immediately when you read that one I was like, the 5 seems like a lot.
I know 5 is a lot.
Like especially using the word fantasy. Like that seems to be like when you think about sitcoms, it's like, dress up like Princess Leia or something, right? Not a real fantasy. Of course, in real life, that's probably something very porn-brained, right? But
Yeah.
then to think you have to have like 5 of them? Like, how freaky are you?
Well, I've just always lived my life like absolutely in a state of wonder and confusion trying to like imagine how horned up other people are. Like I'm always like, who is this for? And like I
Yeah.
know that there's definitely people that are just insanely horned up, but like I'm just not a part of that nation.
Nation.
No, like I'm so embarrassed even like thinking about these. So this is one, and this is also great because it has a little like instruction at the end or suggestion so that we can make this possible. And I find this absolutely baffling, but take turns reading erotica to each other. You can find different websites online.
Really? I can
Like,
find.
what a fucking weird suggestion that is. Like, you can find different websites online. Like, they're saying, like, no, not only do we want you to do this, like, if your stupid ass can't figure out where to find some erotica, you can find different websites online.
Yeah. I love the idea that like somehow they have enough thought to buy this game online, but not search for their favorite erotica.
Yeah, exactly. And like, and now I feel like with book talk and people being so, and I can't believe people talk about the stuff they read out loud. Like I remember
Oh
the
yeah.
first time I saw someone like posting about the different erotica they read on Twitter. I
I mean,
was
it's
like,
different when it was fucking Anne Rice, right?
right. Okay. This is the one that Eric and I really were like, we need to maybe shut down the game. I'll just read only a couple more because my half is just about up. Move a full-size mirror close to the bed so you can watch each other while you fool around.
Lord.
Like that feels a little off-brand because it is considered to be one of the spicier questions. But also like the idea of like putting down the game and moving furniture to like
Yeah.
engage in this very specific thing that sure, plenty of people like that. But
I don't know. I'm not a fan of the idea. Like, is it only spicy, like spiciest or whatever, because you have to like physically move something?
I think because it's like I
Oh, of
don't know, it's
course. Yeah,
telling
I'm
us
sure
to
the
go.
mirror part of it has to do with it. I get that.
Yeah, I I don't I don't know. Okay, so
Maybe we don't
then
need to go and delve any deeper into that thought.
get within 1 inch of each other, look at each other straight in the eyes, and tell each other how you feel for 30 seconds. Do not touch them. And it's like, I think I can manage that.
Yeah, not too worried about that one.
Um, this is filthy. Blindfold me and go down on me for 4 minutes.
That's like two things that you're.
We're 2 steps out. And also, like, I can't imagine saying something like that to Eric.
No. I can't.
Pleasure yourselves in front of each other for 3 minutes.
Stop. I can't.
Okay, wait. Um, should I read one more? Or do you really want me to stop?
No, one more is fine.
Okay, let's see.
I'm getting just.
I
I'm
know.
blushing.
You're so embarrassed. Search online together for new things you would like to try. Parentheses, sex related, and do them. Like, I like that we're in the spicy section, which means that we should have blown through mild and medium, and they feel the need to remind me that that's the kind of thing they want me to look up online.
Just like sex related. Like, look up some things online, cartoon related, and then do them.
Draw a number on my back with a spanker, ruler, paddle, wooden spoon, and I have to guess the number. If I guess wrong, I get spanked.
That's like half a summer camp game and then A very naughty summer camp game.
Very naughty summer camp game. And then I will just also say that, you know, I feel like you're really not living. If this is stuff that's on the table for you and you need a game to point it out, I just feel like there's probably so many couples that no longer speak because they played this game literally.
Okay, last thought I have. There used to be, when I worked in the bar and restaurant music venue industry in Kansas, occasionally there would be a group of people who would always put on a fetish night, right?
Hmm.
And to me, I would think a fetish night is not very exciting in a like public venue that anyone can buy, like pay the cover and go to. Like a fetish night needs to be like secret club, I think, like, and
Sure, but like that could be a big part of it is some people
yeah.
like to be to have that out there about themselves.
Well, and there's always like a host, of course, right? And then there's like multiple like things that they do on the stage, which are usually just always variations of the like, 2011, 2010 burlesque craze, or paddling someone with a leather whip, right? Like it
Right.
doesn't get, it's like the only difference is like the costume they wear and the song they're playing. And I just remember one night, say, the host getting up there, and he was of course kind of like a short little like rat looking guy
Can I tell
with
you that as soon as you said host, I the person who came to mind, and I'm not kidding, is Carrot Top.
I mean, it was like that if it was short bleached hair, right? Like very, and I just to this day remember him specifically being like, and remember, if sex doesn't freak you out a little bit, you're doing it wrong. And I was like, I don't know about that, dude.
No, that's like actually really terrible advice, and it's dangerous
Yeah,
advice actually, in fact.
it's
Um
terrifying.
so let me see if there's one last one. Type a very hot message only using one vowel and have your partner read and decipher it. I
I
mean, I
love
don't
these.
think that's very hard.
No, I love these little like grammar games they're having us play.
I know. But yeah, so Rob, I think we should, even though we are huge prudes, I think that we should maybe consider doing a game like this. And so if anyone has any suggestions, I mean, you were so helpful to me with my gaming future
Sure.
last week, that I think I want to return the favor and become one of the world's biggest dicey card games people. But you know what I'm thinking of too right now?
What's that?
Remember when Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan and said, "Oh, like one way to have like a lot of fun at a party, like if you want to have so much fun at a party, is to type in to Grok like do a vulgar roast,
Yeah.
and you can just keep writing no more vulgar, or like make it more vulgar, and like you could just like you really laugh, like it is like affect is like that sort of affected speech he has.
Oh
I
God.
it was next level lame, and I don't think we'll be using AI for our spicy card game, but
No.
now that we know exactly what type of freak is out there, and that some unsuspecting man like Eric Moneypenny may purchase a game, I think that we need to capitalize on this.
I think you're probably right. That sounds like a really good idea. And I'd be down to make money in that way every single day of the week.
Passive income, baby.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
just have to suffer through writing some of the most disgusting shit you can imagine,
Yeah, yeah,
and
that
it'll
makes
pay
sense.
off. All right, well, that was my half. Thanks for playing, and
5 minutes.
okay, can't wait to hear what you've got. I was saying that when we were taking a little break and I had a cigarette break. When I was out there, I saw quips popping up on Patreon from Mr. Rob from Vanderpump Robs.
You know it. It's happening. It's all happening. It's great. We're in our full effect, but guess what? This isn't Vanderpump Robs. If you want that, folks, go over there.
Yeah.
But I did open up a voicemail line, and people are dropping me voicemails left and
I
right.
saw that and I was enraged.
I'm so sorry.
No, I mean I'm just jealous.
Is it because you invented podcasting?
It is because I'm the queen of podcasting and everyone knows it, and I have to make people feel miserable because I did invent podcasting.
Sure.
And Ira Glass is totally stealing from me.
Mhm.
But I no, I was enraged because I was jealous, and I love, one of my favorite things about TikTok Live is sort of the like shock jock element of it, where you can just have these people call in and it's like totally surreal and disturbing, but then and then you can drop them, which is something that I would really like to do on Twitch,
which we can also set that up. So as Big Molly Media happens, we'll make it happen.
Thanks, Rob, you're such a supportive friend.
Of course.
Now, I want to support you as you get into your half, so please let me know what I can do.
Well, all of this game talk in this episode and last night got me thinking of something more wholesome, Molly. We've got to sometimes keep the boners at bay, right? And just actually diminish these horny bastards that were really into that first half and go back to a simpler time of like 80s and 90s board games, because we also talked at your birthday dinner about like the random, let's face it, the random thing men of a certain age do watch on YouTube when it's not like detrimental to their like mental state in a like political way.
Yeah.
And I went searching for board game commercials from my childhood.
Hell yeah. And what I also like is that you're kind of ripping off No Promo a bit.
A little bit.
I'm not going to tell them.
Well, I'm sure they'll listen, and then they're going to go, God, I gotta up my game, because that's all this really is. If anyone thinks I'm biting their style, it's just that I think they can do better. And this is a way for them to really be on their heels a bit.
When you told me that one of your friends left you like an audio note or something about how they were like wheezing at me, accusing you of being addicted to Batman.
Yeah.
Was that Nate, Dean, or maybe Bill?
No, it was none of those people. It was my friend Brady from Recap Rodeo.
Oh, what's up, Brady? Brady, do you want me to come on your podcast? Rob will set it up.
Yeah, Brady and Lindsay would love to have you. I know that for sure.
Hell yeah. I would like to do it.
Lindsay, of course, made an appearance at our live show at the Pack over a year ago, which was fun.
Was it is it Vanderpod Recaps?
Yes, they're the creators of that Instagram account with their podcast. So
wait, but I thought that Vanderpod Recaps was just Lindsay.
Well, I think Brady helps like post things and make graphics and stuff. I'm not sure exactly how the working relationship is, but they're now podcasters like the rest of us.
Lindsay, I demand to know the workflow that you have with Brady.
Release the tapes.
Anyway, okay, tell me about these board games.
Well, I was thinking about it, and in the early 90s, we didn't you might have a Game Boy, right? You might have something like that. You might have a Nintendo, but it wasn't as prevalent as now, and definitely no internet. So what are your commercials for children? You've got like candy and yogurt, skateboarding yogurt commercials. You've got
toys for days.
Yeah. And I'm thinking like not even in the commercial space. We will be watching commercials, but more like what are the toys for kids? Mm-hmm. And it was, your dolls, your action figures. your, I don't know, games after that, right? Like you might have sports equipment, but that's still games.
Yeah, I weirdly feel like I can only remember a Battleship commercial and maybe
Sure.
Guess Who.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I took a class in college that I think I kind of vaguely shouted out on, well, I didn't even do that. I shouted out the Children's Television Act. But I brought it up on No Promo. One of the most interesting college courses I took was children's media.
Oh, interesting.
And like the Children's Television Act was like pretty mage. Like
Yeah.
any network that showed programming for kids had to include at least 30 minutes of commercial free educational content.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Mhm. Stuff like that. It's interesting. I would like to revisit the Children's Television Act and get more into it. But yeah.
So let's start with one that I think a lot of people think about and don't talk about enough. That's the "Don't Wake Daddy" commercial, which
Yes.
I think also maybe falls in a little bit to where I was thinking previously. But let's watch this real quick.
The game where you've got to sneak into the kitchen for a snack without waking Daddy. Land on a noise, and you have to press Daddy's alarm clock. Will he wake up?
Wake Daddy. Oh, wake Daddy. From Parker Brothers.
It
I'm
seems like such a
sure.
fun game, right?
Yeah, but like don't wake dad or what? He's gonna beat the shit out of you?
Well, you're breaking the rules, right? So
Right. You're not supposed to be sneaking to the fridge.
you're not
Kitchen's
supposed to be getting
closed.
snacks. So, but I do think that I wonder we're talking about the racket of making that card game ourselves and then putting that out. Like, that can't be a an extreme amount of money to make "Don't Let Me Wake Daddy." It's a random button that flips up a doll, and then you just put some stuff that's like, okay, if you hit the pots and pans spot on the board, you have to hit the button 3 times. If you hit the dog, you have to hit it 5 times, right? All of these things that potentially could wake daddy. And I just don't think it cost that much. And they probably were able to just throw those commercial on there. It was a good Christmas gift. And that might go for all board games.
Well, it's so funny that you say that because I wasn't thinking about like the cost of making a game like this, but I would imagine that it is quite a bit to get something like that off the ground because you got to make all the molds.
It's true. But if you know the manufacturer, right, then you just like, I don't know how this works, but I
We
assume
can buy
someone,
dad's wholesale.
yeah, like I think you could, I think you could just get some college student to like make the CAD drawing or whatever, then send that over to China and they just like print it all out.
3D print it.
Yeah, but that also makes me think of like Mousetrap, which I have a commercial for with one of the Lawrence brothers is in it.
Let's see if I can clock. They are one of the podcasts that I listen to from time to time because they're also like weirdly MAGA and not good at hiding it. And that's Matthew.
Yeah.
And also big Johnny Depp fans. They think it is they think his testimony at that trial is fucking hilarious.
God, I do have to tell you, I don't think I brought this up on Vanderpump Robs, but there is someone on the new season of Vanderpump Rules who I met like at a barbecue once. Very nice person, really enjoyed. And then I saw an Instagram post from a few years ago, and I remember it happening at the time. And then I went back to see if it was still there, and it was just like, I hope what is it like? Happy New Year to everyone but Amanda Heard or something like that. And I was like, what? Why are we
Happy
like,
birthday to everyone.
or like Happy New Year, or like I hope everyone's having a good day
Oh, good
except Amber.
morning to I
Yeah.
follow someone on Threads who that is like her bit is that every day she posts a good morning to everyone, but and then it's
Yeah.
insert random annoying thing that people do.
And I'm just like, why? And it was just like a selfie of her, not of Amber Heard, of this person. And I'm like, why? And in what world are we like, Johnny Depp is so innocent that I have look, we don't have to rehash that whole thing, but just insane.
Oh no, I mean it was like the weight of the world has been put on Amber Heard and it infuriates me. I mean, if you think this was always what's so surprising to me about people who were like taken aback by my Karen Reed hatred and
Hmm.
wanting to see her put away because it's like what about me? Like a very vocal and consistent advocate for Amber Heard since like the beginning of that trial. What about that shows that like I am unafraid of standing up for the right thing even when it's deeply unpopular and will drive away people that might otherwise be interested in me. Like
Exactly.
I'm addicted to doing the right thing. Sorry.
It's just embarrassing for people who can't see behind that. But anyway, let's watch Matthew Lawrence in a mousetrap commercial.
Mouse trouble? Then you need Mousetrap. Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see. The first to capture everyone else's mouse is the winner. Just turn the crank and snap the blank and shoot the marble right down the chute. Now watch it roll and hit the pole and knock the ball in the rubber duck tub, which fits the man into the pan. The trap is set. Here comes the net. Ouch! Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see. I knew you were a winner. Mousetrap from Milton Bradley.
I'll be honest with you. I'm relieved that they showed what the game looks like because when I was a kid, I'd get really caught up. Like when I was little, I'd get really caught up in like the animation and then be like infuriated that there weren't animated mice running around the game. Quick thing about Mousetrap, just looking at the thing freaks me out because I never played a game of Mousetrap that was fully functional because it had so many pieces
Yes,
that
that's what I was going to say.
yeah.
I don't think also I remember once trying to play it with my parents and them not like grasping the rules in a way that they were just like, well, this fucking sucks, right? Like if I was an adult, I would be like, well, how does this game even fucking work? And later, I think I tried to read the rules like when I found the game, and it was one of those things where it was like, if the trap gets set off by accident, it also counts. So I think that's just like taking into accountability, like the fact of how janky it is.
It was so janky. And like if like you lost a piece, like the game was markedly less fun,
Yep.
but no one ever kept all that shit together. And there was so much like these young hands that don't have like great fine motor skills, like
Sure.
hooking together all these various pieces. We're bound to break some of it. And, you know, I could fuck with Mousetrap if they maybe sold a kit of replacement parts of
Sure.
commonly broken things. But that was the kind of thing that I wasn't really allowed to have. And I think it was definitely in part because we were poor. But I think also that's the kind of thing my mom would have really flipped her lid over is if
Oh yeah.
she bought this whole game and I couldn't even use it.
Well, let's talk about even more cheap games that they tried to sell to kids that I remember this one specifically. It's called let's see here, Thin Ice. Do you remember
Oh.
Thin Ice?
Thin Ice was very coveted. And that was another thing where I was like, but what if you run out of the ice? Because I
Exactly.
feel like there was probably only 25 they gave you, but there was this girl at my school who was a big fucking nerd. And then she got really hot in high school, but she didn't go to our high school anymore.
That's
But
how
I
it
remember,
goes.
remember seeing her at the mall, and I was like, holy shit! Like she fucking
Damn.
everything came together for her. But I remember, so at our school, we would on half days on Thursdays, kids who came in from the city to be at our school, because Massachusetts has a program that does not play well when you pitch it, which is Metgo, where they would send kids from the inner city to schools that had more resources. And so, like a lot of kids would take home a Metco student. And I remember asking the Metco student that would go to Katie Roberts' house, what they did. And she said, we played thin ice. And I was like, that dork has thin ice? Like, yeah.
Well, let's watch the commercial real quick.
Everybody's running to get thin ice. Take the tweezer in your hand and take a marble from the sand. Go on thin ice. Go on thin ice. Put your marble right on top and tap the tweezer before they drop. Go on thin ice. Thin ice from Pressman. It's cool.
Now, feels a little bit like you could get, like, did we need the Inuits as the
That's
tweezers?
a really good point, Rob. That's a really good point. You know, I will say that something I noticed watching this with adult eyes is that you could probably do thin ice with a wet paper towel.
Exactly. Like, it's just taking marbles and dropping them onto a piece of paper of some sort.
I do like that kind of, like, I like the edging element of it.
It's very much, speaking of edging, there's the, I don't know if you know this, but on the Nate and Dean stream, our friends Nate and Dean, you can pay for bits to get Nate to almost fall off his chair.
Okay, well, so what is that?
Oh no!
Oh,
no.
and you can pay, for that.
Like 99, I think it's 99 cents for Nate to almost fall out of his chair.
I mean, these guys are genius. I have to say, but I mean, it's got to be a pretty great bit for
also,
people.
Nate Soup is coming up, which we need to figure out what time they need us. But
I was planning on not leaving all day and making it weird, where to the point where McCrae has to make the difficult decision. And I've been buttering up McCrae. I've been buttering up McCrae on X. So I think I'm making it pretty difficult for him to boot me, because we've had some nice exchanges. But yeah, I love that for Nate and Dean. That's a stroke of true genius for them to come up with that. And so does it is it during the recording that you can donate 99 cents, or do you just like Venmo him?
No, it's during the live stream. There's a little thing that sets up with the Twitch account. This is all stuff we can do in the back end. It's like you attach all of your information once you have a following. I think you have to have like a certain amount of streaming hours and a certain amount of followers, and then you can set up all the bank stuff, and then you can say, if people want to buy bits, and then they can use those bits on whatever you want. So,
well, can I just fucking Venmo him? Because I don't want to really be doing bits and stuff.
No, of course. I think there's also a reason why, like, Go Off Kings and some other people just have, like, here's a Google Doc where if you Venmo us this amount of money, this thing will happen,
So does he do them all in a row? Like, if like a bunch of people buy them, does he do them in a row, or does he just decide throughout, like, oh, I'm going to comedically?
I think it's a case-by-case basis, but, like, when we do our Vanderpump Slobs live streams, like, people can pay for bits for a talking head, like a confessional from Dean or a confessional from Rob or a confessional from Nate.
Oh, by bits you mean jokes. That's not like TikTok.
No.
Twitch
It's
currency?
actually called bits on Twitch.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So, like, if someone does a Dean confessional and a Rob confessional, we'll just do it in a row.
So what if I Venmo him $100?
Yes.
And I say, I want you to pretend to fall 100 times and like almost take up the whole episode of just Nate kind of falling in his chair.
I think that's I doubt he would probably deny that.
Okay.
or make it a dedicated stream.
So you're saying Nate lives in denial. And I
Yeah.
agree. I'm so glad someone said it.
Well, let's look at this next commercial because I remember this one. It's Jumpin' Monkeys.
Jumping monkeys flying free, fling them up into the tree. Jumping monkeys aim, let go, try to hang them high or low. Jumping monkeys hang always, there's so much fun, you'll play for days. Jumping monkeys from Crestman.
I remember Jumpin' Monkeys.
I remember Jumpin' Monkeys. I'm looking at some of these other ones here. If there was anything that really jumped out to me. Oh, this first one here. No, I just want to watch these first two because they look insane. And I think I remember the second one, but
This is such a good topic, Rob.
this is just Don't Break the Ice, right? Like someone improved on Don't Break the Ice.
It's the same. You see a lot of this stuff on YouTube. What?
Snardbart game. Just move your snort when the Snardbart's eyes match your color. But if your color
The
doesn't come out,
Snardvark.
The Snardbart game.
What?
Back 'em up, quick! It's Donut Disaster.
This is
A
insane.
wacky game where you roll the dice
I
and
don't
get
remember
all your
Donut
donuts to
Disaster at
win.
No.
all.
You better hurry. We can't go any faster.
This is too big.
No, that's way too much space. That's how you wind up in an episode of Hoarders. I feel a way about how shitty that must be for parents to have to go through your kid's shit and be like, yeah, like you're too old for this. Like you don't play with it. Like throwing away toys. That's,
Yeah.
I don't envy it.
Well, this is the last one I want to watch only because it just sparked a memory of like there was a domino craze for a little bit, and I got
Yep.
a domino something for Christmas at one point, and I want to see if this really looks as cool as I remember.
Introducing Domino Rally. And now, Super Deluxe Neon Domino Rally. Get all
Wow.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to say for my non-existent children, I approve of this game because
Yeah.
you get, they got to set up the dominoes. That's good motor skills. And there was something so exotic to me about dominoes when I was a kid. Those like domino mazes. I was amazed
Yep.
by them.
Yeah, and I think that someone got a huge raise when they're like, what if we invented a domino stacker that like you could just shift and then they all stood back up like they're on hinges. And they were like, this is genius. This is new technology we've never heard of before. You're going right to the top, Jeffrey. I imagine his name is Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm.
But Molly, there's not much more I can do with like children's board games, but there's so many commercials. I might have to do a part 2 down the line in 2026.
Well, Rob, I am getting the sense that you want to wrap up, but I do want to
I just
ask
don't. I
you-
just feel like I would just be replaying more of the hits.
No,
at
I
this
mean,
point.
let's just say this. A lot of games I think were like in the vein of this sort of, like you fucked up, like the
Yeah.
game is over. Like Crocodile Dentist, I remember. Of
Oh
course,
yeah, that was on that list too.
the classic Operation.
Yep. I could never. My fine motor skills could never with. I remember literally being upset that I could not do anything with Operation.
I'm sorry. I mean,
Yeah.
I hate to hear that, Rob, because you are so multi-talented, I think.
Well, thank you.
And I know that must have been very frustrating for you. I do feel like Operation might have been
Subtle
a
punishment.
lot of people's first lesson in empathy.
That's fair.
Because, it's kind of fun to like
Mhm.
shock something, especially
Sure.
like there wasn't much to do in the 90s. Like the
That's
idea of
true.
a little electric shock was kind of fun. But you didn't want to do it because that poor man was knocked out. I mean,
Yep.
no, actually, with Operation, the guy was awake.
His eyes were wide fucking open.
Yeah. And I was going to say this when Daddy was on the screen earlier. I was thinking, oh my God, that actor needs to get some fucking self-esteem. Like, what the hell is this? Like, poor sap. But then I realized that it must have been pretty exciting as an adult to get, in particular as an adult, to get a commercial like that because they're almost always national. And they got replayed like crazy. Like you couldn't go anywhere without seeing "Don't Wake Daddy."
Well, and here's another question: where's Mommy? Daddy's sleeping alone.
Well, she died, and that's another reason why he's so temperamental and
depressed. Yes, and sleeping all of the time.
And he probably is like, stay the fuck out of the fucking kitchen because he just learned how to clean when Mom died.
Yep.
And so
That's
he's
true.
like, I'm like, I just had no idea how much Suzanne did. Like, I'm always cleaning up that fucking kitchen, and like,
and
you know,
of course we've got this fucking dog.
And that absolutely intensifies his grief because he realizes that he took his wife for granted.
Daddy, you've got some splaining to do, and I'm here for it. Like, look, Don't Wake Granddaddy, I think, is another game that we could really. It's like, remember Trouble? Was it Trouble and then Double Trouble?
Yeah.
Or was that a different? Because there was the one.
I think it was Double Trouble. It's sort of like how now they offer like Uno extension packs, which, by the way, is a game I wouldn't even know how to guess how to play Uno. I always was so overwhelmed by it. But you know, I think I told you that I showed Eric. He asked me what my favorite games were when I was a kid. And he lived a much more exciting childhood than I did, in that like he was allowed to watch MTV at an age where it wouldn't have even been considered in my world. And he had video games and all this stuff. I didn't have anything like that. So I showed him Dole 5-A-Day Adventures, and he was floored that that's how I would spend afternoons, sometimes as old as 13. It is for ages 3 to 8.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, like I don't even remember really like having toys when I was a kid. Like, in a weird way, like I think part of the reason why I was so frustrated that I was slow to learn how to read because of my dyslexia was that I just needed something to do. And so I really just remember reading as a kid, and then sometimes you do puzzle games, and I loved solitaire.
I really liked solitaire as well. Once I learned how to play solitaire, I felt like I was the smartest kid in my grade.
Yeah. It's like an old lady card game, and you do have to try hard. Did you play on the computer or did you play with physical cards?
I mostly played with physical cards, but then once we got a home computer, I was like, oh, fuck Minesweeper. I'm playing some solitaire.
So, you know, you kind of sold your dad out. It's always one of my favorite is when you sell your dad out a little, and so I'll sell my mom out a little for you too on this.
Please.
And I realize now I should have some more compassion because I think my mom picked up solitaire as a hobby because maybe she was thinking about keeping herself in good cognitive shape because it is, you know, it's like you got to do a little mental math, right, with solitaire. And so, and I think technically every game of solitaire could be winnable, but she shuffles cards in a way that is so loud and so disturbing. And like it's like listening to someone rip a phone book in half every single time. And to the point that like I get jumpy when I go home because she's cracking and shuffling these decks. And like I think that if I was outside on the sidewalk that far away from the house, I could probably still hear Shauna shuffling those cards. And it's become like a sore spot for us because every time I go home, I'm like, Mom, like you're scaring me. Like, why is it so loud? And she's like, it's the only way to do it. And I'm like, that's just not true.
No,
That's
that's not
not
true at all.
true that the only way to shuffle cards is that loudly. But then last time I told my TikTok live friends last time I went home, I said, when I'm home, you're going to hear my mom shuffling those fucking solitaire cards. She's going to be shuffling those decks and it's going to be a nightmare. And when I came home, she had adjusted her shuffling.
Oh my gosh, she
I
was
know.
she remembered.
But she's so addicted to solitaire now that like sometimes we can't even really have a full phone conversation without her flipping those shuffling that deck, and it's out of control.
Oh my god, that's incredible. I appreciate the awareness that Shauna's got though. And I think that
No, Rob, please. She softens the shuffle, but she still is like tries to tell me about being gluten-free. Like it's actually maddening.
yeah.
But
Well, moms can be that way. Molly, there's so much for us to discuss, and Halfsies is here to stay. People are going, well, is 2025 going to be the end? And we're saying, hell no. Hell no.
fucking nah. And I think, when Tiffany and I come back, what we've kind of discussed is that it might be closer to like a monthly show.
Hey, that's cool.
That's more like curated than this weekly news grind that we were in, which is not super mentally healthy. And I feel like I've learned a lot about myself and my media consumption since we stopped doing Trend Lightly, because now there's really no excuse for like it's not going to some greater project anymore. So yeah, learning lesson. Halfsies is here to fucking stay. And Rob, as always, not to be too overly sincere, but I want to thank you again for our beautiful friendship and the way that you showed up for me last night and the way Jessica showed up for me and these beautiful gifts that you gave me. And I just feel so lucky to know you. And it's been a wonderful, I don't know, like year or two, a couple of years now that we've been friends. And I'm so every time I talk to you, I'm so thankful for you. So yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm thankful to be your friend too. I'm ready to hit the ground running into 2026 with this friendship. And I still want to do another live show. And I think we need to give that to the folks.
I've got the guy.
I
know the guy. So yeah, we should plan on doing that, and we should come up with some absolutely raging theme.
You know what would be cool? I want to do absolutely raging theme, yes. But also if you got the guy, what if he has some people that are like, look, we're kind of selling tickets, but we need like an opener that would be really exciting, and then just absolutely destroy as an opener.
Ruin it so that like when they come out, they're all demoralized and shit, and they've been working on these sketches or
that'd be my dream, Molly. That's my
they've
dream.
been doing zip zap zop in the back room to prepare for improv, and then when they come out, they're just like, I don't fucking know if I can even do this anymore.
Yep.
And one thing I'm always willing to do is, this was going to be something Eric and I kept private, but I am willing to do the NXS New Sensation Dance Contest. If that's something you and I want to try together, we can maybe open with that. Stuff like that.
I think you and Eric got to keep that one going.
It's going to be a private thing. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate everyone. While I am starting to edit this podcast by myself, I appreciate everyone who is showing me grace with that. And, I miss Jean Marie. It's been terrible since she passed away. And we'll talk to you soon. Please be safe. Have a good one. God bless America. Bye.
Bye.